In this video, we're going to talk briefly about the AutoCAD line types that are available when drawing inside of your workspace. This is not referring to the layer property line type to describe which type of line you'll be using and which ones are loaded. This is instead referring to lines, polylines, and 3D polylines that are available through your draw options. So each one of these line types has the ability to contain certain characteristics that are unique to each one of them. So before we get started, I'm going to switch to a two viewport configuration. On the left one, I'm going to stay in the plan view. On the right one, I'm going to switch to an isometric view. I'm going to zoom out a little bit and hopefully get that view nice and clean. On the right-hand viewport, I'm going to start the three different lines, and I'm going to stick to a basic 12, 24, 36, 48 line segments. And I'm going to make sure that my polar tracking is set to 30, so in the isometric view, it won't skew on the 45-degree angle and get confused between vertical and 45 degree. So again, in the plan view, I'm going to start my line command. You can either come up here to the line option, or you can click the L enter for line. And I'm just going to pick a random starting point. When I select, I'm going to move to the east, and I'm going to type 12. And then I'm going to go north. And before I go north, I'm actually going to zoom in a little bit. I realize how far out I was out. So I'll go to the north, and I'll type 24. And then I'll move to the east again, and this time I'm going to type 36. And on the right-hand view, I'm going to select in there, and I'm going to zoom in. And then I'm going to go up, and that's the plus Z. And I'm going to type 48. So notice that we're going in the vertical direction. In my left-hand viewport, I'm going to zoom in on that line segments and see that the connection here is at the top end of that point, but you can't tell because we're in plan view. On the right-hand plane, I'm going to end the command by hitting enter. Now, if I click on any one of these segments, they are in fact a line, and it's distinguished by 3 square grips. And when I hover on one of the end points, it says stretch or lengthen. If I hover in the middle, it doesn't give me an option, but when I select on it with left click, I can now move that entire line segment all as one item. If I hit escape, it returns. If I again hover, I can stretch, which means I can move it in any direction or bearing, but it stays on its original plane. Okay. Or I can choose the lengthen option, which allows me to only go on the axis it was originally drawn, but it does allow me to change its length. Now, if I do the polyline command, I can either go up to polyline or I can hit the PL option. I'm going to start that same line configuration. I'm going to start with 12 to the east, 24 to the north. I'll select over here in the left viewport real quick and get that into view. Back in my right-hand viewport, 36 to the east. And now I'm going to go vertical up, and notice that it will not go. It will not go in the vertical direction. Now, if I'm in the 45 degree, which is by default the tracking angle that polar tracking is set to when you first use AutoCAD, you get the misconception that you're going vertical. And so if you're not paying attention to that axis, you can actually type 48 inches and it will go out and you hit enter. If you're not tracking your left viewport, you'll notice that it's actually going out at a 45-degree angle. And so if you don't have multiple viewports and you're only in an isometric, you will get the misconception that you're going vertical and it's not. Now, the one characteristic about a polyline is that when you begin to draw it, it is all continuously connected. They are line segments, but they are continuously connected. And when you hover on an endpoint, you do get an extra option to remove the vertex. So you can stretch, you can add, and you can remove a vertex. And when you hover on a midpoint that looks more like an elongated rectangle, when you hover on it, it actually has stretch, add, and convert to arc. Polyline is the only one that will allow the convert to arc. If you're imagining that you're drawing a polyline and it does not have the convert to arc option in the midpoint, then you are not in fact drawing a continuously connected route line. The other characteristic of this, as you notice, we could not go in the vertical direction. Polylines are restricted to the XY plane. Now, you can cheat and you can flip your UCS, use a coordinate system, so that your UCS XY plane is in the vertical, but typically that's not how you would want to draw a route line. And in a 3D route line or 3D polyline, which we're going to draw just to the south of these two, I'm going to start the 3P command, which is a 3D poly. And again, that little square shows the plane, starting plane, and it shows the line going up and then over to the right. Let's select that one, start my point at any specified location, move to the east, type 12, move to the north, type 24, move to the east, type 36. And you'll notice that after I end a line segment and move into the next, on the left-hand viewport, the previous line segment then defines its position. Now I'm going to go in the vertical direction. You'll notice that the polar tracking angle is set to 45. I can come down and change that to 30. And now I'll see my 0, 30, 60, and in between the 30 and the 60, I'll see the plus Z going up. And in that case, I can type 48 inches. When I finish the command, I hit enter. And you'll notice that line segment section that I drew here and this one here look a lot alike. When I select this one, though, it is a continuously connected line. So you'll have all the segments, they're all connected, but you'll notice there are no midpoint grips. 3D polylines do not have midpoint grips. Now, on a polyline, if I hover on a midpoint grip, I can add a vertex, and so now I can change where that route line goes. So it's kind of beneficial there. I can't do that on the 3D polyline, so if I select on it and I want to add a point between these two grips on this 36-inch section, what I have to do is find the point before this section, which is the one here on the left. It's the third end point. And I can add a vertex, and that will allow me to place a new point between the one that I'm currently on and the downstream point. So here, if I wanted to offset this rectangle or this line segment and add an offset here, I can hover on the grip, move away from it in a direction, and then give it a distance. So we did a 36-inch line. So let's say we're going to go 24 inches. 24 inches away, a new grip will appear. And now we have 12 inches between these two. If I want to go vertical offset here, I simply now have to select the grip at the bottom, move up, and type the distance I want to go at 12. And what should be happening here is it will proceed to the east, then the north, then the east, and then it will travel up into the east, and then straight vertical from there. In order to see this, I'm going to hold my shift button on my mouse. I'm going to press my mouse wheel in and begin to free orbit. And when I look at this from an isometric view, I could tell that there was a jog in the line, but when I look at it from the front view, I can tell that that line is now going vertical. When I look at it from the left or the west, I can see that their vertical line and the vertical offset is now in line with the vertical rise. So I can clearly see what's happening there. Those cover the 3D lines. If you do in fact want to remove this offset, you can select that point, go down, type 12, hover on the grip in between, and remove that vertex. Now it's continuously connected without the 45-degree offset. And that covers our basic line configurations and some of their limitations, as with the polyline, and some of their limitations as with the lines.